Welcome to Cyber Mayor of Yuma. And on this page, What's New at City Hall, we will be looking even further into the topic of the day, which is the investigation of the mayor. But before continuing on to that infamous meeting of February the 1st, some clarification is in order. Now, since posting part 1, several folks have asked, why am I defending the mayor? Or, as Point of Order Johnson would say, why am I a sycophant of the mayor? I'm not. All one has to do is to visit the Gila Mountain annexation page on this website, and it can readily be seen that in that issue, I had Johnson and the mayor shoulder to shoulder, literally, in my opposition. However, in this issue, the mayor is unquestionably on the receiving end of what we called in my youth the proverbial dog pile. Now, my opposition throughout this entire infantile farce has been to shine a light on the hypocrisy and double standard that is taking place and being employed by the clowns, or as my 101-year-old granddad would say, the two-facedness. Now, in part 1, it can clearly be seen that the clowns did not comply with the city code nor Robert's Rules of Order in calling the special meeting of January 25th. And in part 2, we'll be able to see that they violated both the state open meeting law and the city charter. But first, some of the mechanics of how meetings are to be posted in order to be in compliance with the state open meeting law. Now, an item cannot be discussed and certainly not acted upon unless it's been noticed to the public at least 24 hours in advance. Now, generally, the agenda for a regularly scheduled council meeting can be found on the city's website on the Friday preceding the council meeting that takes place on either the first or the third Wednesday of the month. Now, that's well within the 24 hours required. And additionally, there's a separate agenda that's posted for the work session that ordinarily is held the day previous to the council meeting. Now, from time to time, there are additions that need to be added to the agenda after it's already been posted. And those additions also have to be noticed to the public at least 24 hours in advance. Not so with the clowns. Witnesseth. On Friday, January the 27th, the agenda for the meeting of February 1st was posted to the city's website. That can be seen posted here on this page. And the item dealing with the possible investigation of the mayor, item 4, was Councilman Stewart's failed motion of January the 18th. Now, quick question. As can be seen, the city clerk certified that the agenda had been posted on January the 27th, 2013. Now, inasmuch as that date is yet in the future, was the meeting properly posted? Just asking. Now, on Monday, January the 30th, the agenda remained the same. However, at 11:57 a.m. on Tuesday, January the 31st, the silly season kicked into high gear. Now, that's when the city clerk's office posted an addition to the regular council meeting of February 1st. And as can be seen on that agenda posted here on this site, that addition was to retain the law firm of Gus Rosenfeld. Now, a quick side note. By posting the additional item on the council meeting agenda at 11:57 a.m. and including that item for discussion at the work session that was held at 5 p.m. that very same afternoon, that means the item was posted less than 5 hours in advance. Far, far from the 24 hours required by the state open meeting law. But hey, the clowns are in a hurry. Now folks, the city charter states that the council can only act by ordinance, resolution, or motion. And those acts must be in an open public meeting, properly posted 24 hours in advance as per the state open meeting law. So, with no public action by the council, how did the retaining of Gus Rosenfeld come to be an agenda item? Now, that's the question that was asked by Mayor Krieger at the work session of January 31st, as can be seen from the minutes of that work session posted here on this page. And Mayor Krieger further inquired of the city administrator as to why he would move to that level without direction from the city council. And the mayor then stated that he was concerned that there now could possibly be a quorum violation. Now, Wilkinson, obviously dancing the T-Berry shuffle, responded that no quorum violation occurred. Now, the following day, at the meeting of February 1st, Mayor Krieger again posed the question of under what authority Gus Rosenfeld had been placed on the agenda. At this point, Wilkinson's Pinocchios swelled to a full-throated, reverberating crescendo of prevarication as he facetiously stated, quote, "No action has been taken regarding outside counsel," end of quote. And that can be seen from the minutes posted on this page. Well, yes and no. To say that no action had been taken by the council would be a correct statement. However, as can be seen by the billing statements from Gus Rosenfeld posted here on this page, Wilkinson's assertion that no action had been taken is woefully veracity challenged. Clearly, Gus Rosenfeld had been hired and on the job a week before the council voted to investigate, making Wilkinson's unintended revelation the proverbial smoking gun. Now, the billing shows that David Penarts attended the special council meeting of January 25th before the council voted to even reconsider the failed motion. And the billings also show that Penarts was present at the meeting of February 1st before the council voted to investigate. Almost $6,000 in legal fees, and there had been no public action by the council. Now, side note, you'll notice that in the Gus Rosenfeld billing statements, there are lines that have been redacted that show up in black. Those were redacted by the city before they released the public document, and were constantly reminded by the city that One City Plaza is a citadel of truth and transparency. Yeah, right. Now, how could that happen, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. It can only be one of the three following scenarios. One, a rogue city administrator acting alone, which would be a violation of the city charter. Or two, a single councilman or less than a quorum of the council directing the city administrator to act, a violation of the city charter and the state open meeting law. Or three, a quorum of the council directing the city administrator to act outside of a properly posted public meeting, a violation of both the state open meeting law and the city charter. So, the truth has been put to the lie. Vis-a-vis Wilkinson's mendacious assertion claiming that no action had been taken regarding outside legal counsel. Now, while it can now be seen that it's Wilkinson that is acutely undersupplied in the truth department, he has endeavored mightily to deflect that deficiency to those whom he opposes. In an unreservedly classless and unprofessional act, Wilkinson rebuffed the mayor, who just happens to be one of his bosses, by saying that parts of the mayor's State of the City address, quote, were absolutely 100% false, end of quote. That's the Yuma Sun, January 6. Now, what so inflamed Wilkinson was the mayor's reference to keeping the city's finances in order during these especially difficult and tough economic times. Well, perhaps Wilkinson should rebuke Point of Order Johnson as well, because when Johnson was running for re-election, he stated in one of his campaign blurbs, quote, "We are facing a financial crisis in this city, and we have to cut spending and control the budget," unquote. That's the Yuma Sun, August 14th, 2009. But hey, Johnson isn't a target. Johnson is a fellow abettor. Hypocrisy, thy dwelling place is one city plaza. Clearly, Wilkinson should have remained as an assistant director in the IT department, since he is unequivocally not ready for prime time. Sadly, however, no steps will be taken to admonish their wayward administrator, because you see, truth is something that the clowns insist upon of others. Now, when the charge is directed towards themselves, a mountain becomes a mere molehill. Yet, a molehill abruptly can take on mountainous proportions when the clowns, the gang at One City Plaza, resolves to attack the character of others. That truth notwithstanding, the clowns continue to harangue that the mayor violated city code, city charter, and state open meeting law. You have to give them credit. The gang has chutzpah. Hey, here's a thought. Inasmuch as there was no official action by the elected body representing the good folks of Yuma to approve the investigative charges by Gus Rosenfeld prior to February 1st, let the clowns pick up the tab for the $6 grand. Hey, that is a thought.